Hey YouTube, yeah, you read the title. Sorry about this. I don't mean to do this soon after my previous one, but what can I say when it comes to stuff like this? Shit just happens to find me so easily. Before we get started, I would like to say, and I kind of touched upon this last time, which is, you would think, especially in the current sort of financial, situation, what we're with double dip recession and stuff like that, and with a game going up to the wire and then getting bought over, that people, sort of small independent chain stores, should take a long, good, hard look at themselves and their business practices and stuff like that. Particularly in this case, but we'll get to that, because no one is sort of bulletproof. No one is bulletproof, and even though I will never buy a new game from certain said stores or chains, it is important to support the little guy. Right? You may not always get the best price, but it is scary where games are going. I don't just mean the industry. I mean, like, high street wise and sales wise. Because make no mistake about it, now that the supermarkets are all worming their way into it, if they ever get to control it, they force all these people out, and that's what supermarkets do, isn't it? That's what they do best. It's going to have a knock-on effect. It's going to be scary. I mean, they've already been done previous times, haven't they, for price fix, and what's to stop them, once they get rid of everyone else, to start doing that with games? I don't know. Not saying they will, just saying you never know. You never know. Right. Now, that being said, let's get to the point. Right. I don't know if you can see that. It's even going to show up. You see that? My trigger cracked on my Wiimote. I don't know how. I literally was just going like that and it cracked. I only have one Wiimote because, well, I only play single player games on the Wii. All my mates sort of don't really care for the Wii, so what's the point of having another Wiimote? Now, I know I could have bought one at Amazon for really, really cheap prices, but it cracked yesterday. And I really, really planned on, playing some Wii games tonight, because I just bought Sonic Colors. So, but you know what? So I went to town. Well, not main town, sort of outskirts of town. I mean, like 15 minutes away. Not that you need to know that. And yeah, I bought another one because I couldn't be bothered to wait for it to come in the post. Now, it was an alright price. It was new, and it was like a £5 less than everywhere else in sort of the immediate vicinity. So, good enough for me. Quits in. A £5 may not sound like a lot, but with how expensive petrol is right at the moment, £5 is good enough for me. That's something I can put in my tank. So it was new, I got home, I opened it all up, it looked new, it was new, I guess. It didn't work, as in no blue lights or anything came on, no blue lights or nothing. I was like, what? So now this is just me, but I get paranoid when I deal with stores that give you so much crap about what they can and can't do for you from a customer service point of view. So if anything ever goes like tits up, I immediately just go straight back. So I went straight back, which was annoying because, as I said, petrol is expensive. And I walked in the store and I said, this doesn't work. And they remembered me and I went, yeah, this doesn't work. Incidentally, it is the same store I was talking about in my previous video. Now, before you say you're a muppet, I may not buy a new game there again, but I trade there, I buy DVDs there, like second-hand DVDs, and I'll happily buy second-hand games. And, as I said, you've got to support the small guy. Not after this. So yeah, I still have it. I took it back, and yeah, so obviously they got to test it, fair enough, they got to test it, and I'm not saying it's their fault, because I guess it was tested by Nintendo at some point, but stuff happens, transit or whatever. And nothing's, 100%. You will always have some things that fall through quality control and testing and stuff like that, and I accept it. That that's not a problem to me. It's an inconvenience, but it's not a problem. Just so they tested it, and they were like, "Oh yeah, no, you're right. It doesn't work." So I went, "Can I have another one then?" And they went, "Well, that was the last new one. We've only got second-hand ones." And I went, "Well, yeah, I don't. It's a motion control. I don't really want a second-hand one. That's the point. I bought a new one. I could have bought a second-hand one here." So they said, "All right, that's cool. We're phoning another store." There's only like another branch locally of this store, so they phoned the other branch, and I can't believe this, but the other branch didn't have any new ones. They only had second-hand ones. To which I actually said to them, "What do you mean you've only got second-hand ones?" And they were like, "Well, Wii U and all that, kind of winding down." I'm like, it's a little early to be winding down this soon, mate. Everywhere else is still selling them. The price cut and stuff like this, you would have thought that you would have some backup sort of remotes. So I'm like, well, that's all well and good. I'll pay the extra money and I'll go over the road and I'll buy it from the Lecky store. Or I'll go and buy it from a supermarket. And they were like, well, we can't give you money back. And I've heard of this before, but it's never directly affected me, so it's never sort of pissed me off. But I went, what do you mean you can't give me my money back? And they pointed to this little cardboard sign that said, the policy of the store is we do store credit. We will swap the product. We will do store credit. We do not give you. We do not refund cash. And I said, yeah, but you can't swap the product. And he goes, we can. I'll give you a second-hand one. I said, I don't want a second-hand one. I want a new one. That's not being a snob, but I want a like replacement for the one I bought that doesn't work. So you can't supply that to me. Fair enough. You tried your other store. They can't supply it to me. Although to be perfectly honest, I don't see why I should have to drive there to pick it up. You know, that's my own money. Give me my money back. And he said it's store policy not to refund your money. Now, before we get to the little argument I had, yes, you know, you are entitled to your money back. You know, statutory rights, stuff like that. Sales a Good Act. You know, trading standards, this, that, and this. But there are some sort of exemptions. I do understand that. You know, if you go and buy something as a gift for someone, like a game or whatever, and they've already got it, and you come back, well, then you're not going to get your money back. It's the same with sort of clothes stores and supermarkets. You know, if you assume the size of a, you know, you don't try it on, you just guess the size of, I don't know, a shirt or whatever, and it doesn't fit, you take it back. They're within their rights to just give you store credit, although to be perfectly honest, most places will actually just sort of, supermarkets mainly, will just refund you cash. But again, this comes back to, let's not just support them, because although to be honest, I'm starting to grow tired of these independent chains, because this is twice, you know, in a week or whatever. So yeah, I understand there are exceptions to the rule. I'm sorry I'm waffling, I'm just... So I'm like, dude, just give me my money back. I don't care that you don't think you have to refund me. You do have to refund me. You know, I bought this. It doesn't work. You know, not after a couple of days, not after a couple of months. I took it home. It doesn't work. I've driven straight back, which in itself pisses me off because it cost me money. Give me my money back. You can't do this. You know, I'm a consumer. My rights are protected by law. And he goes, yeah. We hear this a lot. Which to me was like, you what? You hear this a lot. That might be because you're in the wrong. Now, I don't want to get too angry with these people because they just work there, you know. Everyone needs a job, and fair play for working. But to be that openly antagonistic, I mean, if I worked there and someone did that to me, I would be a little bit kind of, well, I have to go with my company policy, but I don't necessarily have to antagonise them. So I probably just would have said, I do understand your frustration, sir. This is the policy of the store. If you would like to take it up with, you know, relevant bodies or whatever, please feel free to go down that route, but I cannot give you a cashback. I can only offer you store credit. So, you know, to openly say we get this a lot and sniff it off like whatever, so it infuriated me. It really infuriated me. I'm like, this doesn't work. You cannot replace it. There's nothing else in the store I want, because I want a controller. Because why would I want a game? I can't play it because I haven't got a controller, you know. And you brush me off like this. Yeah, I was angry. I was very angry. And he actually said, well, why didn't you take it up with trading standards? To which I was like, alright mate, I will, and I left. Hence the fact that I still have a broken controller. But I just thought, that was, I know my rights, you know. I know the Sales a Good Act. I shouldn't have to, but I know it because of things like this, you know, the horror stories you see in the newspapers, you see on forums and stuff. But yeah, has this happened to you? Or has it happened to you, but at least they were kind of like, I'm sorry, this is store policy, there's nothing I can do about it. You know, if you want to pursue it, you know, another way, please feel free to do so, but I cannot do anything about this, I just work it. Or if you just openly had them sniff at you and go, bring it on. Because that's what I felt like this guy was doing. I don't know if they've had a load of people do this to them and they've all backed down, but not me, mate, not me. I am that person who will cut his nose off to spite his face, so yeah. I want my money back. I don't want store credit. There are, you know, if it was second hand, fine. You know, if it was a DVD, fine. But not a brand new peripheral. You know, not out of the box, brand new peripheral. Give me my money back. Now, whether he was in the wrong and that, well, that is store policy, but certain things that are exempt and they have to give you money back, I don't know. But such was the attitude coming off this person, I just thought, screw it. That's how you want to play it, game on. Anyway, sorry I'm waffling again. It annoyed me, but yeah, your experiences? I mean, come on, me, twice in 1 week. What are the odds? I'll see you later.